I want to know how bad his shoulder really was, because I've had shoulder surgery, and I had fought Gilbert the first fight. I know I was younger than 37, so that maybe could be pretty big difference. But I had fought Gil. I was back training within just under 3 months. I fought Gil 5 months. So within 5 months, I had fought Gil for the first time. The recovery is just, and you could tell the way he trains, the way he looks at 37 is phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to take that same approach with your recovery when it comes to your shoulder and your knee and all these other things that you have. Your body's going to be banged up. You've got to take care of it. And I also think that this is, God, I don't want to sound, I love TJ Dillashaw. I love the sport. I love how he fights. I love his style. I think he's a fighter that didn't need to use PEDs. I think he's one of those guys. I don't think he needed it. Maybe mentally he felt like he did, but I don't think he did. And I think some of these injuries, whether it's the knee, whether it's the shoulder, these are all things that the residuals from using. That's my take on it. And I don't know. I've been around wrestlers and athletes and fighters my whole fucking life. Soccer players, everybody. You know, I mean, I played soccer competitively when I was younger. I wrestled, through college. I fought MMA my whole life. I mean, my life has been sports pretty much. And I know a lot of guys that have used, and normally they deal with a lot more injuries in terms of as they get older. Maybe they feel like brick shit houses when they're younger, but as they get older in that 35, 36, 37, things start to really tally up. And your ligaments and your muscles and all that stuff just doesn't hold together as well. And I don't know. I don't know if it was, I don't know his full, I don't know how long or whatever it was he was using PEDs. But the bottom line is he's 37, shoulder, knee. It's not looking good. I know he's going to come back. I know he will. You could tell he's a focused individual, John.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
And he's driven. So that was my original point, was that I don't think he needed it. He's such a driven guy.
Here lies your problem. He's 37 years of age. He's had now 2 fights in the last 3 years.
Yeah.
Now he'll not have another fight for another year. So it'll be 2 fights within a 4-year period before he has his next one, which will be the 3rd fight within 4 years. It's not good for him because there's nothing that's happening as far as he's advancing. With the injuries, he's having to fall back and then try to regain and come back to where he was. And, he's going to be 38 years of age before he now is able to come back again. And in the bantamweight division, you're talking about a bunch of goddamn killers in there.
It's the best division in the sport right now. We've talked about this.
Speed is a huge element in that division. And as you get older, it doesn't improve your speed. And so, and TJ does live off of his movement. He lives off of speed. He lives off of being a guy that, creates a lot of angles. And I just look and I really have enjoyed TJ as a fighter. I like him as a person. Yeah, the whole PED thing was a mistake, but it's not going to be an easy road. And I honestly don't think, just based upon the way things went down with his fight against Aljamain, and again, you can take nothing from Aljamain. Aljamain went out and did his job.
Yep.
I don't think the UFC is going to put him back in a title fight. Boy, he's going to have to beat everybody, and he'll be 40 years of age before that happens. And I just don't see it happening anymore. So he's got to really look and say, why am I fighting?
Yeah.
Am I fighting, because I want, the paycheck? Okay. Am I fighting because my ego tells me, hey, I've got to stick with it? Okay. But if he's going to fight saying, I want to be the champ again, I just don't see that coming his way.
I mean, he's going to have like Glover type performances where he's finishing people. He's able to get them out of there.
How long is that going to take?
I don't know, John. I don't know. And here's the other thing. At 205, there's like, I feel like the same way with the heavyweight division. There's like a handful of guys you got to beat, and they're all tough, sure, but they're the top 3 or 4, and that's it.
Yeah.
He has to worry about in that time frame these younger guys that are coming up in this
and getting
duration.
better
and getting better. And then the guys that are there and established right now are just fucking stone cold killers.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, like you look at Peter Yan and you're like, dude, I know he dropped in the rankings, but like, you're like, fuck, I don't want to fight that guy. You know, like that guy's just a dog. He's going to fucking come after you. Sean O'Malley's, he's a little bit of a problem for TJ. The reach, the range, the speed, all that stuff is a little bit of a problem. You know, Sean showed a lot in his last fight against Peter. Yeah. You know, and if you look at how he fights, and you take a little bit, John, of what of how Dominic Cruz fights, they're very similar. And now look how Dom is slowing down, and look at how TJ is starting to still.
Look at what happens when you slow down just a little bit.
Yep.
It makes a huge difference.
When you lie, and I've said this for the longest time, guys like Roy Jones Jr., he relied on his athleticism so much, but then he got caught, and then he got caught again, then he got caught again, and that just stacks up. Problems. When you're an athlete that relies strictly on not strictly on your athleticism, they're very smart fighters, but your athleticism is a lot of what you do in that cage.
It's a lot of who you are.
Yeah, the speed of these younger guys and potential of timing you because they see it coming because of their speed, it poses problems. I don't think he's going to be out in a year. I can't see him being out a year, not with a shoulder. He had to have had a serious, like, not just labrum tear, he had to have a rotator cuff. I mean, I've had friends that rotator cuffs and labrum tears, everything like that, and they've been able to come back within 6-7 months. So if he's real strict with his recovery, I think he'll be back. I think he'll probably get back in the cage by 6 to 8 months, somewhere in there. But that is a long time off. 37 years old. Go to mybookie.ag. Use that promo code Wayne and they'll give you additional spending cash with your first initial deposit.